Hello and welcome to my channel. Going to be talking about this certification, the multi-cloud red teaming analyst certification. I just got it recently and I wanted to shed some light just in case you want to get certified in cloud certifications, attack-based or defense-based cloud certifications. So yeah, I just got this and let's kind of talk about, before we get into the certification, let's talk about the provider of it, Cyber Warfare Labs. So I got this course on sale. They seem to be on sale a lot. And at first glance, you might think, well, because they're on sale a lot, that it might, something might seem off. But I got recommended this certification by a senior cybersecurity analyst, which did it, and they told me that it was really good. And when I did it, I realized that it was very it was a quality course and well worth it. So I got it on sale over here for, where is it? Multi-cloud red teaming analyst for $10. And yeah, me personally, I think it's well worth $10, if not more. It was a very great course, and in my opinion, if you were to create a pathway for cybersecurity courses on the cloud, specifically red teaming, I would put this certification first, just because of the amount of basic concepts that you learn if you apply the mentality that I'm going to talk about whilst you're doing the lab. So for this lab, the lab and the course overall is basically about red teaming on the three major cloud service providers. So they give you three kind of infrastructures: one for Amazon, one for Google, and one for Azure. And they also provide an operating system that they created. I didn't use it personally, although I did go into the operating system's tooling documentation, and I just grabbed whichever tools I didn't already have that they're using, which is something that I recommend you do. Kali is, in my experience, the most stable, and it's just so reliable. And so to experiment and use all these other different operating systems, it's not something that I want to waste time on. So I always stick to Kali. If you made something new, I'll go ahead and grab whatever value that what you made can give to my Kali, but I'll always be on Kali. So for these infrastructures, like I said, there's a mentality that's going to make you learn so much more on these courses, and in this course in particular, this $10 course, believe me, could teach you probably like I'd say 75% of like the fundamentals of cloud pen testing, because everything is there: assets, resources, all these different types of things. Like, for example, in Amazon, like they show here, they're gonna give you lambdas, they're gonna have a bunch of IAMs, which I'm going to talk about, and they're gonna have EC2s, but the lab itself only guides you to do certain tasks. But if you employ the mentality of experimentation when you take this course and when you take courses like this, you're going to be learning so much more. So what I did was I went ahead and I explored everything. And because I explored everything, I was able to learn so much more on my own, just me, the infrastructure, and my research, and my experimentation mentality. So that being said, what my methodology is, not like, for example, Google, I had very little exposure to Google Cloud going into the certification. But what I did was, instead of going to, like getting the Google Basics or going to Google Fundamentals first, I got into this attack lab, attacking Google Cloud, and then I find a service that there is in the Google infrastructure. I go and research it. I go to ChatGPT. I work with ChatGPT. I work with AI, and we gather methodologies. We gather attack and enumeration methodologies. I show my AI the service, and I tell it, well, give me tooling to enumerate this service. And then I grab an entire tool from GitHub and I start attacking it from scratch. And so if you develop this methodology, you're going to learn so much more. What was first a $10 course, including a $10 lab, is now, like, the value becomes so much more immense, like, like a $500 quality learning experience. And so yeah, that's the kind of methodology that I had doing this certification. So in general, you're going to be performing red team operations, and I'm going to disclose something, which is that this is quite ambiguous. And personally, if you follow the red team operations that the course wants you to do strictly without delving into anything else, I'd say the experience from a red teaming perspective is quite minimal. But if you go out of your way to enumerate and attack everything in the infrastructure, yeah, you are going to be conducting, I'd call it red team operations in a full scale sense. Learn how to configure credentials. This is like one of the basic essential fundamental concept that you learn for all three infrastructures. You're going to learn how to, after enumeration, after getting initial access, how to capitalize on that access, how to set your attack lab up in accordance to that access, and how to move around in the infrastructure that you got access to. Enumerate core cloud services, like I just said. You're going to be enumerating, I'd say, for most of this course and the labs that it has inside, you're going to be doing mostly enumeration. Exploit chained misconfigurations. So yeah, this is one of those things where I feel like they only demand you to do like one or two of these. But if you delve into everything and you explore, this is where you're going to capitalize on the learning experience. And then, of course, the capture the flag aspect, which is always fun. It's always fun for a course to be gamified. So capture the flags are always great to involve. So let's get into kind of how the course structure works. So in the course, you're going to be provided 3 modules. And each of these modules, as you can see, is a cloud service provider infrastructure. So you have module 1, which is AWS, and you get in here and you start attacking. I'll show you in a bit. And then Azure, same thing. You get in, you start attacking Azure. GCP, you get in, you start attacking GCP. So let's go into one of these, and I'll show you kind of how it's formatted without showing you any flags, which is illegal. And firstly, they give you a bit of study material going into the lab, but like I said, I feel like the best way to learn is just through this experimental mindset, where you just dive right into the infrastructure. You find a simulation that is at a reasonable price or that is free. Lots of free stuff on Try Hack Me and Hack the Box. Not cloud stuff, but yeah. So then after you get into the simulation, instead of kind of succumbing to that feeling of, oh, I'm overwhelmed, I'm not familiar, I need to go do a basics course, I need to do fundamentals, instead of wasting, I don't know how many hours you're going to waste, probably like 20 to 50 hours on Google's GCP fundamentals course or AWS fundamentals or anything like that. Just get in and break through and break free of that overwhelmingness feeling, and just start researching and start taking a step back, taking a breath, and saying, okay, I don't know what is around me right now. I need to get situational awareness. I'm going to break everything up that I see, all these different services. I don't know what to do. Break them up, go service by service, researching about it, talking to GPT about it, and then slowly you'll start mapping everything out, as I'll show you. I made maps for all three modules that I'll show you in a bit here. But yeah, we got study material just for you to get warmed up, get into it, and then they give you a very nice kind of objective. And I really like this. I wish that more courses and training would employ kind of immersive aspects like this, like giving you an executive summary. I feel like even if they were to give you a little story, like a background story, and then you move through a storyline of like a hacker mission or something, that would be really cool. But yeah, they give you kind of this stuff. They actually disclose a very key, valuable, I'd call it an asset in this case, which is the name of the company. Because in cloud hacking, keywords really matter, because you can brute force things like assets, like buckets, resources, and even users and roles and IMs. So they give you this, which you are supposed to use in the lab, but I'm not going to disclose anything about that. They give you the objective, which is just to, annihilate everything. And then they even give you a scope, just to kind of get you familiar with how pen testing works. You're going to be working with a scope. And then there's the flag section, which I can't show you because I got all the flags. But yeah, that's kind of the format of each of these modules. Is you're just thrown into the infrastructure and you got to figure it out. And the flag section does provide you with a lot of guidance using the hints. I'd say it's very, very effective guidance. Like you won't have trouble through this course. You won't get stuck. It's not like OffSec, where you're going to be running to the Discord, waiting days and days for help or anything like that. The hints do just straight out, tell you, hey, go do this and then do that. So yeah, you don't need to worry about that. And let me show you the map. So here is the map that I made for all three modules. So the colors are mostly depending on the type of infrastructure. So I use colors to differentiate infrastructures, just in case, not just in case. Well, after this course, I'm planning to take multi-cloud penetration testing courses. So being able to organize different infrastructures within one engagement is crucial. So I have, as you can see, green is one, blue is one, and pink is one. And then I use specific colors for different things, like gold and gold stars are for things that that are huge leads. Like they're leads because they're unaccessed, very confidential data, for example, or IMs that I haven't yet assumed or haven't yet accessed. And there's also other, data indicating that there's potential to do so. Things like that, just leads. And yeah, I'd say I didn't use many other colors in here, but in other maps in future courses you'll see. But this is kind of what I mean of the experimental mindset, where for example, in the Google one, I didn't know anything at all. And then as you can see, taking the time to organize everything gets you so familiar. So instead of having to take, 2-3 courses for GCP and then slowly iterating through the levels of learning in GCP, just mapping everything in one infrastructure, mapping and organizing and learning about it, and connecting different things, understanding the different types of connections between assets and the roles in the IAMs, gives you like 10 times more familiarity than doing 3 courses without any mapping or documentation or anything like that. So I highly suggest you do this as well. If you want more kind of information about how I map, or if you want my symbols and my and the things that I use in my maps, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. As you can see here, I did write a post about it as well if you want to read more. But yeah, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. There's a link in the description, and we can talk about, you know, hacking, or how to adequately organize exposed and discovered assets and things like that. And yeah, thank you, and I hope you like the video. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And if you want to talk about any hacking, or you want to do any team hacking courses or things like that, I'm open to that as well. Thank you. See you later.